Yo, Shiro and we're doing some more KSP today. I had an idea. You may recognize the general aesthetic of this plane from my most recent video. This was my attempt to make an even faster version. It didn't quite work. I was still in some testing phases and trying some things before I took it up for another video shot, but then, well, they decided to release a new, fancier plane. So we're gonna make a new plane today. Yeah, just clear that. I already have it saved. So what we're gonna need is a completely different style. We're gonna use this cockpit because we're gonna build something a little different. The X-59 is a single-seater hypersonic plane, so we're gonna build our own. Or at least attempt to build one. We'll see how well this actually works in KSP. We are kind of stretching the limits of what this game can do with a lot of our builds. Let's see, remote guidance. May not be a bad idea. It's got a reaction wheel. It's probably a good thing to have. Although, do we really need it? This is going to be super, super light. I think we're fine without it. Now, it's got a very strange design and only one engine, which is interesting and unique. How do we want to do this is the real question. So, we're probably going to need some sort of structural cylinder of some kind. Not quite sure how we're going to do that. We're also going to need a very long nose cone. So where are... There we go. Like, it's the wrong proportions, but it's generally the right shape. Like, it's just too big. Wish I could resize things. It's one thing the game doesn't let you do, unfortunately for us right now. It's unfortunately the wrong... Can I rotate that? Is that gonna mess with things if I do this? Generally, it looks okay. I think we're going to move that back in a moment. So we're gonna need... Oh, this may not be a bad idea to do this. That may be too long. It's only... The real aircraft's only like 100 meters long. It's really 100 meters, 100 like feet long. It's really small, all things considered. It's mostly nose, to be honest. And the engine's like elevated. But I think this kind of simulates that a little bit, so I think we're okay. What is our highest performance engine? Is it the Whiplash? I mean, technically it's the Goliath, but... You know... You know... This actually kind of has the right aesthetic. It's a little big, but... It is kind of the right concept. Okay, hold on. And it's got its own intake, so I don't need one of those. So what we need is fuel. This is ridiculous. But it's not entirely wrong either. Okay. How much clipping can I get away with? Hopefully that's not too much clipping and it'll let me do that. We'll find out when we actually go to build stuff. This is so ridiculous. You know what I should do? I should pull up a picture of it, too, on the side, so I have a reference point. Because I've only seen it a few times. I mean, it's brand new. They literally announced this thing yesterday. Like, it's not entirely wrong. I feel like that's overkill on the engine. Alright, hold on. Do I have an adapter for cylindrical to elongated fuel thingies? I don't have a whole lot of anything in here to work with. Oh, look at all this. This is new. Some of these are new. I haven't gone through all the new stuff yet because we're doing the science playthrough and I haven't unlocked it all yet. Yeah, the new plane looks ridiculously cool. I'm trying to figure out how to build one with our current part list, but it's not easy to say the least. Okay, being crooked is kind of bad, but we can work with this. It's not entirely wrong. You know what? That's not bad. We're gonna keep that one. There's gonna be a lot of me trying stuff to figure out how to make this work. I wish I had some sort of converter from the cylindrical shape to... Is this... We do! Okay, okay. That's methylox, though, which is not what I want. But I believe we can drop the oxidizer out, so it's just methane. So we're not wasting mass by having that. Then I can put a couple of methanes on. Wish I had like a view of it from behind as well. Hold on. Let me pop onto the ye old Google real fast. See what images I get to work with. Oh, that's not a half bad behind view. I don't know how accurate it is, but of course I've messed up my view of things. 1 second. There we go. That is not a half bad view from behind. We're gonna use that, I think. Oh, that's a pretty good one too. Okay, so like maybe 2 of these, and then they've got a cylindrical one across the top. Maybe we do that. That's too small. Oh, it's angled in such a strange way too. All right, let's see. Where are intakes? Are they in the engine section? No. The Whiplash is our best engine. Besides this monstrosity. But obviously we're not going to use that, because while it would work, I think it's a little much. We'll keep that in reserve as an alternate building possibility. Ah, here it is. It's in aerodynamics now. So if I take this, and I get this right center, we put one of these behind it, then we strap this on it, and then we do some finagling. Like so. That's not entirely wrong. Hopefully that actually functions as an intake. We'll add some of like these if we need to make it work. Because I can hide these all over the aircraft to make it functional. Because, you know, limitations of the video game sometimes take over. Honestly, I think this would be more useful due to the functionality of the game. Okay, that's 3 intakes. That should be more than enough. Now, I do want maybe 1 more of those. Yeah, that seems good. More fuel. Now, for the wings. This thing is like, it's got like forward flappies? Maybe, should we start with the big wings? Maybe we should start with the big wings first. Just snap those there for now. Why did you not? Why are you not in airplane mode? There we go. So these start where on this aircraft? Right at the cockpit is where they attach in the front. And they stretch about halfway through the engine section. Give or take just a little bit there. So what we're gonna do is route length here. And then grab this. Slide them back to about here. It's a little too long, so we'll put it right here. How's that look? Looks pretty close. Okay. And now they're hard swept. Not too extreme, but I mean... Actually, yeah, they are pretty... They're like 30 degrees off the side, which is pretty sharp for an aircraft. Maybe closer to 20. 20 looks about right. And then, obviously, they're too long. Because they're more of this shape, right? They're just beyond flat. Not by much, though. Which is basically where we're at. And then we will... How big are the tips of the wing? Very, very short. Alright, we need to tighten those up. Perfect. These are more like that. And there we go. There's our big wings. I say big. This thing is tiny. This is a very, very small aircraft. There we go. Don't know why the manager's glitching out. Val, get in here. You know this is your aircraft. You know we're making you fly this monstrosity. With the science update, yes, I actually, if you are a fan of KSP, the first one, playing now is a great time to jump in. The science update gives a lot of things to do. I'm actually doing a playthrough in the story mode, in the science mode. We've just barely made it into Tech Tier 2. It's nice paced. It lets you do a bunch of different things. It sets you up for future missions. It has plenty of wiggle room if you mess up and buy the wrong stuff in the tech tree. So you can always go back and get stuff. Science is working great. They send you on way more engaging missions than the first game. Because one of the issues with the first game was, like, they'd send you on these missions for science, and you'd be out there like, what am I even doing? Why am I here? This one, it's a lot more reasonable why we're doing that. Like, there's actually a story to it. There's a reason for going to these places. You feel like you're making progress the entire time. As opposed to the previous game where some of the missions were odd and just kind of felt like they needed something for you to do. Can I get like halfway? Am I holding the wrong button? Ah, I was. I will say I am very much a fan of the new stuff they've added for the science update. I think they've vastly improved the game. Stability's a lot better. Functionality's better. They added a bunch more parts to play with. Okay, I think that's good. Those generally look the way they're supposed to. I mean, the fact that I can sit here and try to make a replica of a prototype plane that's not even flown yet, and it's this accurate so far, like, this is a very good game, very much worth your time if you are a KSP fan. I mean, you know it's in a good spot when Matt Lowndes back out here making stuff. Like, he was the nail in the coffin for me when I was having a bad time at release. And then now that he's back, it's like, yeah, we're back in business. We can work with this. Is it perfect? No. There's still things they need to improve. There's still issues. But it's so much better than it was. And it is still early access, so occasional crashes are expected and totally normal. Like, as long as the game is mostly working, like, it's good enough. It's basically how we live right now. I know those are lifted relative to the forewings. What a strange... It's such a strange aircraft, because it's such a departure from traditional designs that it's actually kind of hard for me to... I'm having a bit of a time trying to figure out how to position everything. Because she's just a little bit odd. Actually, I think what's going on here is one of these. I don't think we're going to be able to get the angle right. I think that's going to be a limitation of KSP on that one. They stick out about halfway the length of the wings in front of them. Basically the same angle as the forewings, which we set to 20. Alright, we're gonna have to make some edits to the exact values to make this look right. We're gonna make it look right the first time, and then we'll tweak it to make it functional after. Step one, make it look the right way it's supposed to, and we can tinker with functionality afterwards. I grab one of these and do this. Perfect. That looks a lot better. Although I think that may not be far enough forward. Is that better? How far forward do I gotta go to get it to not show? Pretty far. I think we can get away with that, though. We'll see in testing if that overheats. I think here should be fine for the thrust to still work. Because I'm pretty sure it's generated from the black cap area. Whatever these are technically called. I know how planes work. I don't know technical stuff. Alright, so I would say KSP-1 has more total parts, but the parts in KSP-2 are superior in functionality. Like, there are more engines in KSP-1, but all of our mainstays are here. We have the rapier, we have the mainsail, wherever that one is in here. We've got the Mammoth 2s. You've got your, you know, your little ones, your terriers and such. All the big players are here. Plus some added ones like the bottle rocket escape system has been added. They made us even smaller solid rocket booster. They gave us a mid-sized long booster. So we had the ones we used to have, and then we have like a more... Or this one's technically the new one? Because we used to have the big one that was yellow. And then we had like the really tall boy, and then now they've added another one. Like, they've added a bunch of stuff that the first game just doesn't have. The hydrogen engines are a huge, huge bonus. Like, Xenon's great for your long-distance probes, but our poor Kerbals, when we send them on a deep space mission with a Xenon engine, it's gonna be a minute. Well, now we have hydrogen, which replaces the nuclear, and they're just so much better. They put the nuclear to shame. They're just better. So I would say KSP1 has more parts. Oh, we have stack separators now, which is beautiful, instead of just decouplers. But KSP2 has a lot more function with the parts that they have. Like, all these parts do more than they used to. We have fairings built into the base system that are dynamic, just like the wings are. I would honestly, if you are a KSP fan and you played during the early days of KSP1, this is a great time to get in. This is going to remind you of those old days where everything was a little bit broken, but it was more than playable. Because that's where we're at. It's playable, it works, everything is fine. There's a couple of issues. Just save a lot, because I've had a couple of crashes myself. Just save a bunch, you'll be fine. It comes right back. Especially when I start doing some extra things. The game does not always approve of my methods. It gets grumpy at me. But hey, that's kind of... I had those same issues with KSP1. Like, you start asking the game to do too much, and it just tells you no. And you just kind of have to deal with that. Let's see. Wingspan's a little tall. That should be perfect. Angle's a little sharper. Root length should be a little tighter. I'm going to move that up here in a second. Bring the thickness down. This is a hypersonic plane. We need this to be very, very streamlined. My root's actually double the size of the top in the real one. Give or take a little bit. We are making estimates here. There is no numbers available. I'm just gonna eyeball it. The measurements are a bit off. That looks pretty accurate. It's actually quite a bit longer than I initially thought as well. Go. It looks about right. I'm gonna shift this just a tad. That should be pretty good. Okay, now it's also got a set of raised stabilizers. That did not place at all like I wanted. Oh, the frames. Alright, hold on. That... It's just so small, it's hard to see. How do I rotate? There we go. Been a minute since I've done anything like this. Where did the second one go? It's being difficult. There we go. You go up here. Now there's magically only one of them again. Come on, game. Why are you like this today? I've done this before. Okay, now I have two of them. We're just gonna go ahead and move them. Camera's giving me difficulties. What's new there? I don't know why the camera doesn't want to slide. Oh, it's... Right, it's not directions that make sense. It's relative to the cockpit. Forgot about that. Trying to orient yourself in the VAB. This could use some touch-up work on the controls. But it's on the to-do list, and honestly, it's pretty low on the priority list with all the other issues they had going on, so... Ooh. Does that look right? They're just beyond flat. Okay. I have no idea if this is gonna work, by the way. We're completely winging this. I mean, it's a plane. Of course we're winging it. My jokes are terrible. That's more or less how it looks. Do I have a good shot of it on the ground? Where's the landing gear hidden? In an odd configuration. Okay. We're... Sure. I mean, I guess all the mass is in the back. Just seems like an odd place to put everything. Speaking of that, where is our... Where's my there it is. I'm blind. Oh yeah, look at that. All the mass is back here. Whew. It's a hefty one, too. Alright, let's get some gear on this. There we go. Step one, figure out the orientation this needs to be. So pivot point should be at the back wheels. Oh, behind the back wheels. Yeah, like there. And then we'll put another one in the center. Up about here. Those are way too high up. It's not gonna be... That is not gonna work as intended. Like, that's where they should be. Fortunately, they're not in line with the front one. How bad would a small be in place of that? Like, would that reach? That's actually not bad. Okay. Save. First test. Does it sit on the runway properly? Do the engines turn on, and can it breathe? Before we do any actual flight testing, we need to make sure that this functions. So let's go try that and see what happens. Come on, game. You can do it. Oh. What's happening? I think something crashed. Are we good? Am I back? KSP dead. Okay, KSP is struggling there. We'll just give that a restart. Maybe I should turn me off. That might free up some resources. I might be pushing it too far today. We'll just give that another quick try and see if it fixes itself. There we go. Looks like you guys have started to catch up with me now. Okay. So, now that we're back in, there's gonna be quite the stream delay all of a sudden because of that. But we seem stable, which is good. Yeah, everything's running a lot better now. Okay. Just do a double check if anything looks out of place now that's on the runway. I did notice it pitches back quite heavily, so we might want to move those gear back a little bit more. Bring the throttle down. And let's see if what we get here. Oh, we're getting good thrust. Okay. Well, we fly. There don't seem to be any technical issues. stable positioning is a bit off, but it does fly. A bit slow for a proposed hypersonic, but maybe that has to do with the height we're at. I mean, it's very fuel efficient. I'll give it that. But so far, fast it is not. Or stable, for that matter. Seems to be some quirkiness with it as well, with the way it loaded back in. Alright, we're starting to gain some real speed now. Approaching the approximate cruise height of a jetliner. See my recent video on my Better Blackbird for how we came up with those heights. That should be right about here, where airliners would cruise. Probably level out around 15 kilometers and push speed there, maybe 17. So far, she's flying pretty good. I mean, we haven't asked her to do anything other than fly in a straight line with an elevated pitch, but it seems stable, which is good. Alright, we're officially at high altitude cruising. And I do not have enough lift. Alright, not enough lift for high altitude. Got it. Try to point down. Let's try to get some more speed under us. Almost. Got it. Oh, we were so close there. Oh. Alright, we got speed again. So we can climb, but we are not stable up there. This is not by any means a stable aircraft, the way it is currently constructed. No, come on. Nose down, nose down. Oh, she is so hard to control. Okay. How far back is this? How much progress did we lose? Just the top wings. Can I just load that? There we go. All right. All parts put back together. We have a lot. We have lift, but it's the wrong. Something's up, and I'm not. We're gonna have to tinker with it to get it right. Like I need to get. Our center of lift is slightly too far forward for stability. Maybe that'll help. I don't like how close these two are together, but that's closer. That might help with stability. We can also... I mean, those flaps should be plenty big. I don't know why, though. Okay, those are just stability. These are the actual pivot points. Get out of here, Bill. Val's job. Alright, let's try that again. We're more stable on the runway. Things seem a bit better. Pitch up. Engage thrust. We have flight at about 100 meters a second, which is pretty good. This is a lot more stable feeling already. Come on, get that trim in there. Get us better on. There we go. .300 meters a second. Oh, we're moving much better now. The real question is, how fast can I actually get this thing to go? Guess we'll find out as we cross out of the denser atmosphere. We're starting to slow down. It's not optimal. We are supersonic right now. And increasing rapidly. Can we cross the Blackbird limit? That is the real question. Oh, we're getting re-entry heating. We're getting atmospheric heating with our velocity. That's what I like to see. We are past the Blackbird. Well over Mach 3. With a single engine even. This is a single engine vehicle. Traveling pretty close to the top speed I got my better Blackbird up to. I'm way more fuel efficient too. We're starting to slow down due to the height. Not enough air to push off of. But no overheating. Good velocity. Stable and controllable. there's some heating. We got too low. Density got too high. The speeds we're traveling, though. Look at that relative to the planet. That is absurd. We've crossed that whole span in what? 6 minutes? Yeah, a vehicle capable of doing this kind of speed commercially would be absurd for travel. International flights taking 15 minutes across oceans. Because that's what we're talking about, the level of speed here. We are so high up. Well, she works. She works incredibly well, too. I'm curious what our burnout point is, because that's something we tested with the other aircraft, and I would like to see it here. I'm looking for some sort of pattern in flameout, because I've noticed that most of my aircraft flame out around the same time, and I'm not sure if that is a KSP hard rule or something else going on. Because I had a lot of intakes on the last vehicle, and I still had a flame out at a certain height. Oh, we do not have the thrust for a skim up to the top. Maybe we try flame out on a different vehicle, or a different flight. That though, 19 kilometers cruising height. 19 kilometers, and we were pretty stable. Probably more stable around 18, but even that is absurd for how thin the atmosphere is up here. We are most of the way to space, cruising. At over Mach 3. Cruising beyond Mach 3 at 18 kilometers. Just look how far we've gone. In 10 minutes. Alright. Bring her down to about 50. It's time to turn around. First, we need to descend a bit. We got to like 20. We are really moving. Really bring that velocity down. Okay, yeah, this thing is ludicrously stable now. Those little tweaks I did definitely improved the overall flight profile of this vehicle. Because we're just cruising now. Look how beautifully that just turns around, too. Oh, that's so stable. We want to just go a little bit over this way to make up for the turn. And that should be perfect. And now we throttle back up. A little bit farther. Over here. Too high. We want a shallow climb for maximum velocity increase. Just want positive climb. That's what we're after here. Positive climb. We're well past the sound barrier. Quickly approaching Mach 3 now. There we go. Back up to Blackbird speeds and beyond. Level us out just a little bit more. We're over the 13-kilometer mark, which is our burn-up height for our cruising speed. Back at cruising speed and altitude for our return trip to the KSC. Trying to get us level. Man, is it difficult. There's just so many interesting things to do in this game at Kerbin. Like, we haven't even gone to space proper today. Like, this is just Kerbin. Look at that arc, though. We are moving. They need to add sonic booms to the game. That's something I need. Especially with this new aircraft out. keeping us on target. Bring that vertical down. Want that vertical around 0. "19 kilometers in the air, cruising at well over Mach 3, perfectly stable. Just another beautiful day on Kerbin. That vertical back down. What a beautiful flight this was, too. You know, if I hadn't seen the X-59, I probably would never have thought to put this on like a nose cone, but seeing their designs, like, yeah, we'll just use the tail. We'll put the tail on the front, it's got the right slope. And it works super well. Not only for the design, but for the aerodynamics. Like, I mean, look how smooth this thing is. I wonder if I could build it even better. Build like a Mark II with 2 engines. Could I push this thing even further by simply swapping out the back end for... Well, I need more intakes. That's one issue. I have a lot of intakes on right now. I have to find a new place to put those. But swapping out the engines for a duo instead of a single, like just that one little piece replacement in the back. Again, I have to figure out where I'm putting all my intakes, but I'm sure we can find spots. We're slowing down just a little bit here. Perhaps I should dip down just a little bit. Maybe dip to about here. Try to get our air density up so we have a little bit more to push with. Like, we can cruise at about 19 kilometers, but it is finicky. Whereas if I drop down to about 16, we are way, way more stable. Because there's more air down here to work with. Get that nose down. Drifting too high up. We want to go faster, not farther up. This one's about speed, not height. This is not my high altitude flyer. I mean, we're at high altitude, but it's not like my ludicrous one from the other day. On the KSP, we are very quickly too. It's ridiculous how fast this thing is. still over Mach 3 as we descend. I'm trying to slow down right now. That's just how fast this thing is. Alright. Back down to, like, normal speeds. I say normal. We're still going ludicrously fast. And now I have to turn around to try to land. Come on, slower. Slow her down, come on. Basically have the engines off at this point. Oh, well, a little bit fast on the stop, but hey, we lived. Great success. Just a little abrupt on the stop. It's okay, we survived. That's all that matters. Recover the vessel. Whew, those are some good numbers for our first flight. Although, you know, the 6 Gs of force, maybe not so great, but, you know, what can you do? That was pretty good. For our first flight with it, that was pretty good. So yeah, we have a functioning X-59. I do want to see if I can go beyond it, though. Can I push it farther? Can I take this general design and make it even more? Alright, so first of all, let's take that off. Take these off. You go over here. You guys are getting gone. Do not have a split in pure methane, unfortunately. If I take this off, put this on, right click, Get rid of the oxidizer. Close. Come on now. I'll adjust that positioning in a second. There we go. And then we're gonna check our center mass lift. Pretty comparable to where we were before. Now with double the engine output, I am going to move these rear gear back though. Just a bit. There we go. Get those in line. Going pretty good, Frey. We already made a functioning version. So now I'm making my own. Bigger and faster. Mostly the faster part. Okay, that should help with stability and the braking. Mostly the braking. That was our issue on the last one. The stop. Do I tighten this up a little? I think I should tighten this up just a tad. That looks a lot better. Bit tighter on everything. We do need intakes. That's one thing I've neglected here. Those are under aerodynamics now? Yes. Hopefully that's enough for those engines. If not, we will make some modifications. To make it work. In fact, I might just do one of these on the top to be a little more like the original. Now let's see how this one works. We got Val in here, right? Nope. Hold on. Get back in here, Val. And I'm also going to toss down a save. Yep, sure that works. Don't really care what it's called. We just need to save because, well, it already crashed once trying to do this, so. Balance seems a little bit off. I think I need to raise the rear. Revert to the VAB. I need to raise the rear gear just slightly. Our angles are a little off. The nose is kind of pitched down a little bit. That's not good. You want level. Level is the best way for well, technically nose pitched up is best for takeoff. But that's not exactly a good thing for an overall design. Perfectly level is optimal. That is pretty darn close to perfectly level, in my opinion. We will call that good enough. Got the rear gear too far back. Rear gear might be too far back. Okay. We have some oomph. Our gear needs some work, but otherwise, whoo, we are moving. Not nearly as stable as the last design. Could use some work on that. But we're already significantly faster. In fact, we need to throttle down before we burn up. We are moving too fast at the moment. We get out of the lower atmosphere real fast. Significantly faster. Still dealing with heating issues, though. Alright, bring that nose level. Let's try to get the vertical down to 0 and see how fast we can get. She's certainly faster. That's 1,400 meters a second. We are moving. We actually have heating problems. Our aircraft can't handle the heat from its own speed. How far have we gone? Oh my god, this is so fast! Alright, we have a save before we did anything stupid, so let's see just how stupid we can get. Oh, that was too fast. Woo! Too fast of a turn. There we go, back in the atmosphere. It will stabilize us. Come on. Stabilize. Pitch down. Just doesn't want to give. just nose down. That's all we need. There we go. Come on. There we go. Oh my god, it's just so easy to flip. This is not a stable aircraft at all. Alright. Some stability tweaks need to be made to this version. Alright, let's go about tweaking this. First of all, you need to be quite a bit more forward. That was a problem. Move the wings back just a little bit more. Should help. Okay. Save. Do another hard save, just in case things break. Let's try that again. All right. I want to point out that we're sonic booming off of the runway. These aircraft are ludicrously fast. That's Mach 3 already. Go. We're up into safer altitudes for high velocity. Crossing the 1400 meters per second mark. Little bit of stability issues at these velocities. It's trying really hard to stay on. We are traveling so fast, there's a bit of an instability. Alright, how high up can this thing go before it flares out? 20 kilometers. 21. Oh, we're falling. Well, maybe not. We're losing velocity is the problem. There's not enough air to push off of. Still, it's pretty impressive to be cruising at 20 kilometers. This is pretty comparable to my other aircraft. Come on. How far up can you go? Not quite 22, huh? What if I got more speed and then tried to climb again? Come on, climb. Where do we flare out? That is the question. Wow, we got much higher on this one than my last. So it's about 26 kilometers is a flare out point for this design. I feel like it was lower with my other aircraft though. Still says we're bringing in air, but maybe these are lying to us. Oh yeah, 0 tons. They're not getting any more air. We've officially run out. Just gonna level out. There we go, engines are back. Keep our nose level. And let the engines breathe. Oh, the stability. Or I guess instability of this aircraft. Yeah, this gauge is all sorts of lies. Alright, where are we? Oh my god, we're way over here again? We make it so far, so fast with these aircraft. And now we simply turn around. Nice and gentle like. I'm gonna get a little bit more speed here. There we go, that'll help. Getting some actual air under us. Bit more over here. There we go. And back up to speed. There's a bit of an imbalance in this aircraft, it seems. Alright, dial this back to like 75. Will that be a stable flight velocity? Without burning ourselves up? That's pretty good. A couple of test flights we did today. Definitely have some good designs for later. Maybe even for the science playthrough. we just move so fast. It is a little ridiculous to think about how fast we are moving. Like, this aircraft could not fly down near the surface, it would just burn up at these speeds. I'm actually kind of tempted to see just how far we can push it. There's some more heating. What is heating is the question. Oh, is it this piece? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I think it's like our main body's overheating, which is kind of a problem. I mean, that's kind of the premise here, for what we're working on. Like, this design profile scaled up to a passenger vehicle. In fact, that's what we're going to build next. We're going to try to build a supersonic passenger airliner, giving you those kind of velocities that you could just make international travel like a 15-minute jump. Like, it's just right there. Because this distance right here, because we're on, I mean, you can pretty much see it. This peninsula is made to be generally the same shape as Africa into Iberia kind of area. So we're talking the whole run from Madagascar to India, basically, which should be like a 9-10 hour flight with traditional stuff. So if we make that in, what do we have to? We've now flown over there and back, and we're not even at 20 minutes, and we're most of the way home. Like, we flew past that outpost, all the way over to this area, turned around, and are on our way back in 20 minutes. Like, that's insanity, the kind of distances we're talking about when you take into account Kerbal's scale. Now, Kerbal is quite a bit smaller, so even at these speeds, like... Alright, we're not traveling quite as far. Are we off target? No, it's just the northern island. Okay. But even then, you're talking... What 20-minute journey... That's still cutting a 10-hour flight down to like an hour. Which is absurd. And this plane still had plenty of gas to go. Like, we're not returning home because we're out of fuel. We're returning home because I want to work on another design. Like, we proved it works. Alright, time to build the next one. With what we learned from this one. We just look at those speeds. We're pretty close to Mach 4. If we haven't crossed it already with this aircraft. Our real issue is the overheating. Like, we've officially reached speeds so fast that our issue is more thermal than anything else. There we go. Bring us into target. Look at these speeds we're coming into the airport at. Oh, there's some debris on the runway. We'll have to use the secondary runway. I forgot to clean up after our last flight. Had a bit of an abrupt stop. But, you know, as all good test pilots say, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. And Val walked away, so it was a good landing. Nailed it! Beautiful landing. Perfect recovery. Not a bad vessel, all things considered. Way higher top speed. Highest altitude is just absurd. We kind of did zoom climb there. The G-forces, again, maybe a little high. We seem really good at making really high G-forces. It's like my specialty. Okay. Now for something a little more extreme. Can we build an aircraft meant to take passengers that goes to those speeds? Now, I'm torn between the Osprey and the Phoenix. Like, they're comparable in size, but the Phoenix just feels more airliner. You know? Okay, so this is our passenger thing. Do I have a docking thingamajig? What is that under? Utility now? No. Here we are. Alright. We'll just pretend that is side load and not top load. Or whatever. Pretend it makes sense. That is placeholder for the cabin doors. How many people is that? It's 4 per thingy. So that's 12 passengers. Not the largest vehicle out there, but you know, it'll function. It'll fly. It's gonna be quite a bit longer than our other designs have been. Then what we'll do is I'm gonna need, is it aerodynamics? Still learning where everything is hidden in the interface. All right, I want these in first. These are backwards now. Oh, come on. Fine, whatever. I'll just do it this way. You go there. You go there. You go there. And then we adjust the positioning ever so slightly so that the cones are no longer blocking. Perfect. Steal these back off because we're gonna need not methyl ox. We want just methane. And then at the back here, I don't think these are going to be enough, is my only thought. I feel like that's not going to be enough thrust. For the velocities we're trying to go. They really need to make this a make a version that has no oxidizer in it by default. Just use that extra space for methane. That's what we need. There we go. That is our passenger and drive section. In fact, we could probably swap out some of these tanks for more passenger space with the side ones, but I don't know how much fuel this is actually going to equate to, so just leave it all in for now. Now we definitely need wings. First thing we do is make these incredibly long and position them appropriately. Oh, they're gonna just need complete reattachment. Alright, now try sliding them. Close enough to what we're after. Alright, and then going to tinker with them more. Just get a top-down view so I can see what I'm doing. Angle, we want these suckers steep. And we're going to steal the angle profile from the X-59, and then we went slightly beyond flat. We want them slightly curved in. because that's what they used, and that seems to be a very stable design, so we're going to steal that. Right about there. Should be good. Thickness, paper thin. Root thickness should be... Actually, that's pretty good. I do think I want to lower them, though. So if I do this... You're not going to let me? Can't go vertical at all. Alright, cool. Whatever. Not going to worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Let's check our... Yeah, it's actually really good. I have a feeling this thing's gonna move. Just something about its design is telling me this thing is going to go. Did I put a is that a stabilizer and not a wing? I know that probably doesn't seem like it would matter that much since their profile is almost the same, but it does pretty dramatically change the numbers in things. So you gotta make sure you give it the right thing. I may have put that on the other one, the other aircraft. That might be stabilizers. That might be why it's so strange in the way it handles. Oh well. Make it long. Shimmy it about. Oh yeah, because this can get way, way longer. That is not what I wanted to do at all. There we go. Alright. And then we want... That's already saved. Okay, I guess it's smart. Can I lower these? Even a little. Yes, I can. Fantastic. Drop those down. I want that at the lower end of that surface. And there is our wing profile. The control surfaces are a tad large, so we're going to tinker with that. I want lots of span, but I don't want you to be as long. About 25. And we want you near the tips more than the inside, so you actually do something. That is a much better lift to mass ratio as well. Now we want a stabilizer. We only need one of these. Smack dab in the middle, like so. Let's get the design right first. And then we'll worry about position. Like so. And then we will grab this, slide it quite a bit more forward. Actually, maybe we want it back. We'll just pretend we have some structure under that. I can't really do that in the game. Limitation of the game. This should be one solid unit across here, but that's all I can do. So that's what we're gonna deal with. It's connected, that's all that matters. Especially now that they took away all the wobbliness that used to be in the game. It's much, much easier to do things like this without worrying about it flying apart randomly. And now we're gonna struggle with this segment again. Because for some reason it doesn't like actually duplicating. Wait, why? Why is it like that? Do we even need those? I feel like we kind of do, but I also feel like maybe we don't. That's pretty stable, as is, so maybe we just kind of leave it alone. Let's get some ground stuff on it. Right about there should be good. Yeah, just behind center of mass. And then we'll do a single up here. And that should be nice and stable. I don't know what to call this one. What do we call this vehicle? Oop, helps if we can type. There we go. And then who do we have in it? Not Build, you're not flying. Val and Jeb will fly, and then just fill it in. It's a very crowded aircraft. Alright, let's toss down a save. In case the game has issues. And let's get out there and see how this works. She's a little bouncy. But we're good. There we are. There's our pilots. The rest of that is... There's a lot of Kerbals in this vehicle. There we go. Wings seem a little wobbly. I might want to do something about that. Get some anchors added on. Yeah, we probably want to add some struts to the wings. Seems a little on the wobbly side, and that's not good. That being said, we're hitting some ridiculous speeds already. overheating issues. We've reached the same speeds as our previous vehicle with a lot more people. We have a viable hypersonic airliner. It needs some little tweaks here and there, some stability added to the wings, but overall, she cruises. And there you go, 5-minute cross-country flights. Minutes across the Atlantic Pacific kind of deal here. Like, you're spending more time in the local airspace getting up to heights so you can do your actual velocity than the actual travel time with these kind of aircraft. Very fuel efficient. Although this is more styled off the Blackbird kind of design. Absolutely ridiculous how fast this thing can move. Probably be impressive to watch fly overhead, too. Cutting through the air with such force that it looks to be on fire. Probably these speeds would be, too much for commercial stuff, but good to see how far you can push it. So pretty. Alright, bringing velocity down. little hard to see, but we'll fix that in a moment when we get back up to speed. Come on. Turn around. Go. And now we go back the way we came. Yep, right on target. At such velocities that we literally made the sun set. That's how fast we're going. Just bring the sun back real fast. No big deal. I also want to try doing a suborbital ballistic launch with this return. So we're going to try to hold at about 10 degrees-ish. As best we can. Getting a vertical of about somewhere between the 0 and the 10 is our goal, and just hold that. One. Nope, there we go. Burned out. Not enough intakes. .20-kilometer cruising altitude is pretty insane, though. There we go. Getting us stable again. Yeah, a design like this would completely change international flights. Being able to make a journey across one of the two big oceans in under an hour would just completely change how everybody gets around. I mean, just the fact that we can do something like this. And yeah, I definitely could have put more passengers on this. I could reduce, I could probably take out both of these fuel tanks and still have enough to do quite the flight journey. And probably go even faster with less mass. We are coming up on the KSC fast. Let's see if I can actually land this one without having to do any funny maneuvering. Oh, and I never cleaned up that debris, so I'm gonna land on the left runway. Alright. Moving at some ridiculous speeds, at some ridiculous heights. As we come in here. I feel like I should have started slowing down sooner. Yeah, we're coming in way too fast for an actual touchdown at the moment. rough on the landing, but we nailed it. Everybody's back home safe. Mission accomplished. We used about only half our fuel with that, which is ridiculous, which means the distance we traveled could be doubled. That number seems wrong. Although it's probably correct. We traveled a ludicrous amount of distance. And a more reasonable amount of Gs. That's way better. Good height, ridiculous speed. All in 20 minutes. Well, I think that was a successful test for some future projects. I think I'm going to wrap stream there and go work on some other things, since I'm still not fully back from sick. Tomorrow will be the group collab with everybody, which should be some great shenanigans of various degrees. We're playing Betrayal, House on the Hill, so there will be much betrayal, many shenanigans, and I totally won't get anybody killed on purpose. Definitely not on purpose. Maybe. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow with the group. But for today, that is going to be about all. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Bye!